Welcome everyone to the broadcast. It is so good to have you all here tonight. Hello everybody, how's it going? It is Thursday. Hang on a second, I need to find something a bit more, there we go. Something with a bit more oomph to it. How's it going, folks? Playing some more Final Fantasy 14 tonight. And yeah, that's all I can say. Let's see, we leveled, we finished leveling Astrologian to 90 last time. Just kind of plowed through that, that was pretty nice. But that is done, we got our healer leveled up. A comfy stream, yes exactly, that's it. We're here to be comfy, obviously. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, well, do I play Black Mage tonight? Possibly. Do I play Summoner tonight? Possibly. Do I level Sage tonight? Maybe. Do I level something else tonight? We'll see. Possibly. Possibly. I might just go with the whole level up one of every type. Because we only have a few more weeks before Endwalker releases. So, I am Well, we don't have much time, let's just say, to level up really anything. Yeah, Endwalker. Dawn Trail. We don't have much time to, like, level up really anything. So, yeah. Let me just log into the game and see what I feel like doing. Let me just log in. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll just tolerate the 9-minute DPS queues and level up another DPS. Or maybe I'll just play Sage, since I have absolutely no idea how to play that class. Even though it's like level 70 something. I have no idea how to actually play Sage. What buttons to press, anything like that. So, I might just do that. Hello, Haru. You stab people with the flying daggers. That actually sounds like a pretty cool class, and I would play that. It's like the Aurelia class. Maybe I'll finish up Bard. Get the last 3 levels that I need for Bard. That's it. Leveled up Bard the entire way through PvP. Did I see the big healer strike thing that's been going on? No, what is that? What is the big healer strike thing that's been going on? Are healers striking? I could play Reaper for a bit. I did see that the new world demo, where they're adding support for consoles, is NDA. It's a confidential beta, confidential closed beta, which is interesting. I don't know what it is that they're doing that would require an NDA. Apparently, a bunch of forum goers watched the video of Xeno and friends clearing the Mediator dungeon without a healer. They got very upset. Oh my god, okay. Good. Great. That's incredible. Final Fantasy XIV players are the best at creating drama where none exists. Although, I will say, that doesn't bode well for me actually using all the buttons that I'll have at my disposal when I'm playing healer, right? We were talking about that the other day, like, the damage would have to go way up for us to actually need to press all the buttons that I have right now for healing. But I mean, what was the party composition that they used to clear the dungeon? I'm curious about that. What was the party composition that they used to do that? War Ninja, Red Mage, and something else. Alright. So, Warrior. Yeah, okay. Warrior's already pretty insanely tanky. Okay. Yeah. I stand by what I said. Final Fantasy XIV players are the best at inventing drama where none exists. Although, I will qualify that. MMO players in general are pretty good at doing that, too. I already removed auto payment. I'm going to let my house just expire. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. That's insane. That's actually insane. I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV for 12 years, and man, I am so pissed that this dungeon, these exceptionally good players are able to clear a dungeon without a healer. People do that now. Like, in a lot of cases, in those dungeons I was doing, we legitimately would have just cleared it faster if it was just tank and 3 DPS. So, nothing has really changed. All the other jobs have too much self-sustain. I, as the healer alone, should be able to perform health recovery. Oh my god. That's right, man. That's right. What is it? What is the ninja's recovery? Bloodbath? That's it. Right? Is the argument that the red mage can just like res people constantly, or that they're using Vercure to sustain the tank through the bosses? What is that? 188 pages of comments? Maybe I should become a healer. This is it, man. This is my calling. This is my time. I'm just gonna become like the Omni healer. I will fill the void left by all of the other healers out there. All right, I will be the lone streaming healer. That's it. That's it, man. Sharply dressed healer main. Hey, listen. I've done weirder things. Remember that time that I raised money? I did like a charity drive on stream while playing Batman, and somebody called me a communist. That was great. That was really great. He shall be henceforth known as Dr. Sharp. Yeah. Yeah, man. We've had some really wild things that have happened, but the healer strike, that's definitely a thing. Oh no. If I become a healer, am I going to be obsolete? Am I going to be obsolete? Do I want to go down this path? You'll get even faster queues. Exactly! That's exactly right. I'll get even faster queues, man. I will be, I don't know. Depends. Depends. If all of the queues are just tank and, well, I mean, they have to do it for the roulettes, but you know, if they're just setting up their own parties in the party finder, going tank and 3 healers into everything, or sorry, tank and 3 DPS into all the dungeons. Tank and 3 healers would be sick, by the way. Can you imagine? Wait, what'd you find? Xeno tanks the Dawn Trail Mediator dungeon with no healer. Oh, Xeno is he's leaning into it, huh? Oh my god. Domina, I didn't notice this, but you supersized your emote. Jeez, oh man. Wait, did you actually use bits to do that? Wait a second. I'm trying to figure this out. You use 100 bits. Well, thank you for the 100 bits, Domina. This is a brand new thing, by the way. They just added this like today. I didn't see that anywhere in my activity alerts. I need to figure something out. If it's not showing up in my activity alerts, that's, oh god, that's bad. But thank you for the 100 bits and for supersizing your emote like that. That's pretty great. It looks awesome. That is a fantastic emote to supersize, by the way. Good choice. Why is Black Mage so difficult? What are you having trouble with? I can probably help out. I know a thing or two about that class. We're talking about the healer strike. War Dragoon, Ninja, and Red Mage. You're an Ice Mage main. Yeah, there's 3 different specs of Black Mage. There's the Fire Black Mage, the Thunder Black Mage, and the Ice Black Mage. Which one are you, Sketch? Which spec are you? How am I supposed to keep Thunder up when I have no time to weave? If you're having a hard time with it, just cast it in Umbral Ice phase. Every time. Even if it doesn't need it, just recast it. Xeno clicking his skills makes you sad. They probably didn't have time to set up keybinds or anything like that on the Mediator. But what does it matter anyway? Clearly, he was just fine. I've seen people clear like the highest content in the game clicking skills. So I have like zero judgment when it comes to people interacting with the game. Xeno forgot his MMO mouse, which is why he was clicking. Is pressing buttons on your MMO mouse better than clicking on your tool and your bars? Why doesn't Fire 4 reproc Fire Aspect? It never has. It would make the class too easy. I don't know. I don't know why they do that. They have to make it so they have a reason to cast Fire 1. Or, in this case, Paradox. That's it, man. Historically, when they first added Enochian and the ability to cast Fire 4, you had just transitioned from being a Fire 1 mage, where all you cast was Fire 1, and that was like the whole like way you maximize DPS was the more Fire 1s you could convert into Fire 3s. That was it. And I think that they didn't want to get too far away from that. So they wanted to give you Fire 4, but also make it so you can't just spam Fire 4, and you have to strategically slip a Fire 1 in there so that you can balance Enochian. I think I removed all of those commands. Years ago. I think I got rid of all of them. The Foul one, the Enochian one. I got rid of all of them. Take that. Sulu, congrats on your 7-stream watch streak. Thank you for the support. The regular commitment to watching the broadcast. We're still trying to like figure out what to do. Skate. I don't think Scathe was ever a command. I don't think that was ever a command. Alright, sounds good, Sulu. I have not decided what I'm going to do today. I don't know if I want to level up something else, or if I want to... If I actually do want to play Sage. Do I want to play, like... Do I want to finish leveling up my Reaper or my Bard? It kind of makes sense for me to do a physical ranged and then a melee DPS, so I've got one of each type. And Bard is so close to 90 anyway. We could just knock that out. It'll be interesting to see how Sage plays. Haven't seen one in action. Yeah. Neither have I. And I don't know how to actually play the class. Like what buttons to press when. Restores targets HP. Alright, so first of all I need to make some macros. If we're gonna play Sage, I need to make some Sage macros. Wait, what? So I can't move these around? Why? Why? Final Fantasy XIV, why do you do this to me constantly? Jesus. Alright. Fine. No, I can't do that. Because it's probably going to be like, well, now all your buttons on your Astrologian don't do anything. Okay, fine. You can cut and paste if you right-click. Cut. Paste. Oh. Okay. Why can I not just click and drag like I can do for everything else in the entire game? Why do I have just this one instance? Or I have to treat this like I'm editing a Excel file. Cut. Paste. Cut. Paste. Okay. They even have one for physic. Okay, so what heals do we even have as a sage? We have Eucrasian Diagnosis. Restores HP. Okay, so I've got Eucrasia on right now. So regular old Diagnosis is 400 hit points. Is there a cooldown on this? 1 second. 400 HP cure. Eucrasian Diagnosis is a 300 HP cure with a 125% shield. When it crits, you also get Differential Diagnosis, which is another 125% shield. Critically, all the Eucrasian spells are instant casts. Is there a reason why I would ever cast Diagnosis instead of Eucrasian Diagnosis? The total potency for Eucrasian Diagnosis is higher. It's instant cast. And Eucrasia has no cooldown. So I'm trying to figure out, like... So there's Prognosis. Eucrasian Prognosis. Smaller, but you get a higher potency shield on top of that. So the total potency is always higher when you use Eucrasian stuff. Diagnosis is higher raw healing. Yeah, so I suppose if the only thing I want to do is fill up an HP bar... But even then, I don't know why I would... I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it. If my intent is to save somebody's life, then it still makes more sense for me to fill up their hit point bar and give them a shield. Using a GCD because Eucrasia rolls your GCD. Eucrasia has a 1 second GCD. Diagnosis has a 1.4 second cast time. And is instant when it's Eucrasian Diagnosis. So, technically this will land first. Eucrasian Diagnosis always lands faster than casting Diagnosis. Can I just not spam it as hard? Is that what you're saying? Seems like I can spam it pretty well. So there's a... Yeah. I guess Diagnosis allow... No, I was gonna say, maybe Diagnosis allows me to use an OGCD in there, but Eucrasian's instant cast, so I get to use 2 OGCDs. Okay, I don't see it. I don't know why you would use regular old Diagnosis. Is the 100 cure potency really that important? Is there a situation that's not completely contrived in which you would need that? The main thing with Sage is that you focus more on preventing damage when healing than healing it back up. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Clearly you need shields, and shields are the big thing for Sage. Since they are the other shield healer in addition to Scholar. I'm trying to figure out why Eucrasian Diagnosis is not what I have all the time. Why make me push this other button? Okay. Regardless, that's what we have. If I put a macro here for mouse over healing for diagnosis, does it automatically change into Eucrasian Diagnosis? Well, that's interesting. So let's see. What happens if I put a macro there? All right. I think the macro wouldn't work. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think the macro works. But it does totally work. It does work. Okay, so if you want to do a mouse over macro for your crazy and diagnosis, you make one for diagnosis, and then it just works. It just changes over, and then you're good to go. The Sage, your most important mitigation skills that you will use most often are Caracol, Toracol, Haima, and Panhaima. Okay. You don't usually want to use any of your hardcast heals unless absolutely necessary. Yeah, agreed. Like I said, I don't really see a reason to ever use them. And if somebody can think of a situation, that'd be great, but or a legitimate reason. Like, I'm sure we could come up with a very contrived situation in which you would want 100 more potency instead of an additional shield on top of that, but I don't see it. Okay, so we got our diagnosis macro. We have to make a... We don't need a prognosis macro, because that's AoE. Ixicol is an AoE heal. It requires Adder's Gall, and it restores him MP. Oh, that's pretty sweet. And it has a 30-second cooldown. If you want pure healing, the better option is Druocol. Hello, Strawberry. Gradually restores HP and the HP of all nearby allies. And increases the potency of healing by 10%. Physis 2. Okay. So then we got Eucrasian doses on top of this. Hang on. Hang on. Okay. You said what? What are the big ones? Caracol, Toracol, Haima, and Panhaima. Okay, there's Haima. Where's Panhaima? Yeah, I have no... God, my bars are totally jacked, too, because I have no idea... Had no idea at the time what buttons to press. Alright, so Caracol is, like... is a big AoE heal. And it reduces damage. It's not an AoE heal. It just reduces damage, and it gives you back MP. But it costs Adder's Gall and has a 30-second cooldown. Alright, so regular old doses. Where's Cardion? Cardia. Okay, so we need a mouse over macro for Cardia. Caracol and Panhaima are AoE mitigation. Toracol and Haima are single target. Okay. Okay, okay, thank you. Druocol Restores target's HP is instantaneous. Or costs Adder Skull. Okay. Okay. Alright, so you said Caracol and Panheima are AoE mitigation. So those need to be on... Okay, so this is my AoE heal. This is a AoE heal, but it's also on a big cooldown. So I don't necessarily want that there. Where's Panheima? Okay, so Panheima is 2 minutes cooldown. First of all, how dare you? Secondarily, what did you say to me? What? Say what? Wait, what happened? Strawberry, what's going on? Oh yeah, yeah. Sage name abilities, yes, exactly. Druacol. Everything that consumes Adderskull gives you back mana. So Adderskull is... How long does it take to fill up? It's like 20 seconds? Oh my god. There we go. Adderskull takes... It doesn't tell you. It just says it restores over time. Is it 20 or 30 seconds for the bar to fill up? For dungeon pools, you actually use Caracol first. Even though it's party-wide mitigation because it's shorter cooldown than the single target. So, Caracol to reduce damage. This is gonna go horribly. I could already sense it. Okay, so we've got the single target shield. I need to take care of my single target stuff first. What buttons are these on when I'm on my Astrologian? I knew it. I knew it. It got rid of all of my stuff because I moved those macros around. Get out of here, dude. Oh my god. Essential Dignity. Celestial Intersection. Sinistry. Benefic 2. Aspect of Benefic. Benefic 1. And Ascend. I had this sneaking suspicion it was going to get rid of all of the buttons on my bars, and it did. It's 20 seconds. Okay, so your Adderskull is a 700 per 20 second 700 MP per 20 second regen. It's basically what that turns into. You just healed me for 25,000, which is more hit points than I possibly have. I'm having such a hard time wrapping my head around all this. Okay, so single target heal plus shield. And then we've got a single target. Was it Haima? This thing. Single target shield. Which grants other shields, I think. Erects a magic barrier around self or target party member that absorbs damage. When the barrier is completely absorbed, a stack of Haima Tanan is consumed, and a new barrier is applied. When the effect duration expires, a healing effect is then applied, with a cure potency of 150 per remaining stack of Haima Tanan. Good grief. Alright. Alright, so somebody tell me, like, when I'm pulling a pack of monsters, what would you normally do in a dungeon? So, I know that you also heal people by DPSing, right? So, do you... Clearly you need to have your buff up on your tank. And then you just, like, throw a couple shields and you start DPSing things? I'm not even talking about, like, DPS abilities yet. Jesus. We gotta figure all this other stuff out before we do that. If you're with a warrior, press Dyscrasia and zone out. Nobody's even mentioned Dyscrasia. What is that? Hang on. Not one person has said that. You press Dyscrasia. Okay, that's the... Oh, I see. That's your AoE spell. You just AoE. Okay, that's what you're saying. And that heals the tank, obviously. Ixicol for regen, Caracol for mitigation, and then you just DPS. I need to figure out what all the rest of this stuff does. Alright, so I'm going to put all of my DPS abilities over here for now, until we figure out what the rest of this is. And then when the Caracol falls off, use Haima. And then when that falls off, use Toracol, and then Panhaima. When the Caracol... I need to put this stuff in like, places that I recognize the location of the button, because if anybody says any of these words to me, I will never remember what they do. That's basically it. If you said Caracol, I could probably have been playing this class for 8 years. And I wouldn't know what that does. I would only know when I press Shift-Z. Shift-Z. That happens. Okay. So, let's see. Let's put this here. So now I've got our little heal. Single target heal. And our single target... that's an AoE. This is an AoE. Let's put this here. Okay. Let's put that there. Restores own HP and the HP of all nearby party members. Instant cast. Increases HP recovered by healing actions by 10%. Okay, so this is an AoE heal that's on a 60-second cooldown. Haima is a single target big shield. Panhaima is an AoE big shield. Haima. Panhaima. Okay. So I think what we do is we put Haima on Q and Panhaima on Shift Q. Icarus stays on Shift W. I know that one stays right where it is. That stays where it is. Toracol is... Let's see, what's on E? Druacol? Druacol and Toracol? These things that all related to each other. They have similar names, but I feel like they're completely different abilities. One restores target's hit points. And is instant cast. The other one is instant cast, no cooldown. The other one restores HP, reduces damage taken, costs... Do they both cost Adder's Gall? They do. And... that's it. Okay, so restores HP, reduces damage taken, gives me back mana. Toro is slightly stronger. Druo is a slightly stronger Druo with added mitt. Okay, okay, got it. Got it. Are you sure you want a tank? You're probably gonna die a lot, man. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Just looking out for you. Reduces damage taken by self and nearby party members by 10%. Effect cannot be stacked with Tarakol. Oh, I see. So this is like a single target? This is a single target. 10% damage mitigation. This is an AoE damage mitigation by 10%. Okay. Blam. Put that right there. Alright, so this is a AoE heal. And this is an AoE damage mitigation. Okay, so we've got both of those there and there. Okay, X and Shift X. They're both big AoE heals. They're big AoE things. God, what do I have over here? Jeez, alright. Holos is a shield. Is a heal, a shield, and a mitigation rolled into one. Okay, I want to shift these. Because I want the Shift X to be the more powerful version than the regular one, which is just this. Okay, got it. Okay, Druakol, Tarakol, E and Shift E. Haima, Panhaima, Q and Shift Q. Rizomata, I don't know if I want that on R. Caracol and Holos, okay, great. I want to put that on Control F. Then we'll deal with the DPS in just a second. Rizomata I probably want on one of my number buttons. What is this? Grants 4 stacks of Soteria. Each stack increases the cure potency of Cardion effects by 70%. Yusuna, that goes on R. Zoe. Increases healing magic potency for next heal by 50%. Okay. Crassus. Increases HP recovery via healing actions for a party member or self by 20%. Okay, that needs a macro. Is there a way to add the tooltip in there too? For the macros? Is there a way to get the tooltip out of that too? I forget if I've ever actually done that. Can I set the tooltip to also... Is it just slash tooltip or something stupid like that? I know how to get the icon correct, but when I hover over it, nothing happens. You don't think so? That's too bad. Okay. Zoe is pretty useless. You almost always use it on an AoE hard card. Okay. Usually Pneuma once you unlock it at 90. That there. Pneuma. Deals unaspected damage to all enemies in a straight line before you with a potency of 330, etc, etc, etc. Restores own hit points and the hit points of all party members within a radius of 20 yalms. With a 600 potency cure. Restores HP to targets under the effect of Cardion. Recast timer cannot be affected by status effects or gear. Okay, so this is just a 2-minute cooldown that you use to DPS and heal people. And as a shield on top of that. Use Pneuma and Zoe and it heals a huge chunk to everyone. So you just do like shift 2, so you'd use Zoe Pneuma. Get a gigantic heal there. What is that, 900 potency? A 900 potency cure. A huge heal that deals the same damage as doses, so you don't feel bad about hard casting it. $320. Drew Coil is your basic heal when you have nothing left. Last resort before hard cast. Instant cast, 1 second recast. Okay, but it uses Adder Skull. Got it. Okay, then we've got Fizzes. Gradually restores own hit points and the hit points of all nearby party members, which is it's an AoE heal. AoE heal on a 60-second cooldown that also increases healing received. And Pepsis. Restores hit points and restores your hit points and the hit points of nearby party members by removing Eucrasian Diagnosis and Eucrasian Prognosis effects granted by you. Oh, it removes the shield. It removes the shield and converts it into a cure. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Alright, got it. It's mostly useless, but it can be used as a panic button. Sounds good. I'm getting the sense that sages have a whole lot of instant casts. Is that basically the gist here? Because I have a million abilities that heal people, but they're all in really long cooldowns and they're all instant cast. Cast shield, press Pepsis for heal, cast another shield. Yeah, okay. So like Eucrasian Prognosis, and then do this, and then do this again. And then, boom, everybody's all healed up. Sages need to spend Adder Skull to manage their hit points. Or their MP. Yes. True. And there's no real easy way to just look at any of these and say whether or not it spends Adder Skull, is there? Like, are the Adder Skull ones, like, slightly green? And the things that are not Adder Skull, like, bluish? I don't know. I just have to memorize which ones do or do not use Adder Skull. If it ends in coal, it's... Okay, that's not very helpful, but I understand what you're saying. If it ends in coal, it consumes Adder Skull. I'm just going to have to memorize which buttons I press that consume it. It's like X, E, Shift, E. Caracol, Drucol, Toracol. Ixicol. Shift G. X, E, Shift E, and Shift G are my Adder Skull abilities. Single target Mitt and AoE Mitt use Adder Skull, and single target instant heal and the AoE instant heal use Adder Skull. Okay, so that's E and Shift E. Right, that's the single target heal, the AoE heal. No, that is a single target heal. That is a single target heal. All right, so this needs a macro too. Both of these do. tiny heal, bigger heal. And then, what was it? Ixicol and Druacol. No, Caracol? Druacol's here. That's the single target heal. Caracol, Ixicol. AoE heal, AoE damage mitt. Hello, Ryuki. Single target mitt. Which one was that? I'm trying to wrap my head around all this stuff. So give me a second. And by a second, I mean probably the better part of an hour. Taracol. Okay. So this is the heal. This is a big heal. The big Adder Skull heal. Taracol. The small Adder Skull heal. Druacol. The big AoE mitigation. Caracol. And there was one more. Ixicol. This one. AoE mitigation. AoE heal. Single target heal. Big single target heal. And single target mid. Okay, so that's what it is. Okay, got it. Okay, thank you. That's the single target mitigation one. So single target mitigation here. AoE mitigation here. You know, I probably want to move this then and say this goes there, this goes there. Druacol goes on something else. Because now we're saying single target mitigation, AoE mitigation, single target barrier, AoE barrier, Haima and Panhaima, right? Eucrasian prognosis, AoE heal, Ixicol, also AoE heal. Those go on G and Shift G. That's just the way that I heal on other classes. Single target heal, Pepsis. Single target heal. Oh, this is the AoE heal. All nearby party members. So does this Druacol go there? I think that goes there. Single target heal, single target heal. And then Pepsis and Harlos are both AoE. Something like this. Shorter cooldown, longer cooldown. I haven't played Scholar much at all, no. I mean, I've done some dailies with it. That's why it's level 73. Have I played Scholar before? Oh, Scholar, yes, I have played Scholar. Yeah, I've played Scholar before. But I find Scholar to be so much more tractable than Sage. Does no one remember when I played Scholar? I healed, Extreme E1S. Not E1S. Savage. E1S. On Scholar. I have evidence that I healed E1S on Scholar. A long, long time ago. Wow. Let's see. I mean, I haven't played it really since Endwalker was released, if that's what you're talking about. But I used to play Scholar as my healing job. It was because I really wanted to play... I wanted to level up a healer. And I thought if I'm going to pick a healer, I want it to be the one where I also get the benefit of also leveling a DPS at the same time. I found Scholar much more tractable than I find Sage. Summon Selene? What, you don't get Selene anymore? Man, Selene was the better fairy. Soil equals Caracol, Indom equals Ixicol, Lustrate equals Druacol, and Toracol is like XCOG, but not. Wait, so is it like XCOG or is it not like XCOG? Okay. You see, I don't know, I just find these abilities easier to understand than anything I'm reading on Sage. Eat your fairy so you can get more healing. This is always my favorite button to press. Schrodinger's XCOG. Yeah. You guys are great help, gotta say. So how did I set up my bars here? Sucker, Dissipation. Adloquium, Sacred Soil. Really? That's how I set that up? What was I thinking? Biolysis. Royal. Yeah, that goes on Z. Yep. Energy Drain. Yep. These are the abilities I didn't have on my bars for a long time. Fey Illumination and Whispering Dawn. Chat was like, you don't have your fairy abilities on your bar. I'm like, what are you talking about? And sure enough, I had to pull them out of the spell book and put them on my bar. Hey, Rune. It does mitigation instead of HP. It heals like XCOG, but doesn't work like XCOG. Oh, I see. I'm learning how to heal on Scholar. Do I even have XCOG on my bars? Where is that? I don't remember what it looks like. Ether Pact, Physic, Lustrate, Adloquium, Sucker, Dissipation. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's Art of War. That's the button I would always just press when I was in dungeons. So you only have Summon Eos now for Scholars? Man, that's really sad. Consolation is your level 80 ability. Okay, so wait. Fey Illumination and Whispering Dawn cannot be assigned to a hotbar. And yet there they are. I don't think I had XCOG on my bar. They must have changed something. Restores HP when members' hit points fall below 50%. This is like the best button in the game, by the way. XCOG is such a freaking good healing ability. Holos and Physis are your main sources of healing with mitigation, and Soteria you use pretty much on cooldown. Yeah, XCOG was my favorite button to press. It's like Earthshield from World of Warcraft. Almost. I mean, Earthshield heals you when you get hit. XCOG heals you when you get below a certain percent of hit points. So, what was it? You said XCOG, it heals like XCOG, but doesn't work like XCOG. You have to use a Glamour to use Selene? That's fair, I guess. You have to use the command that changes the look of the summon. Got it. I love these bosses just ban themselves. That is fantastic. Okay, so let's see. You said Holos and Physis are your main sources of healing with mitigation. God, what are Holos and Physis? Physis 2. This. Restores party members' HP and HP of all nearby party members. So this freaks me out that like all of the buttons you people are telling me to use to like main heal are on like 60-second cooldowns. Hollis is on X. Okay, so I don't have that yet. Interesting. Okay. That's because you have so much mitigation you almost never have to heal. Okay. Got it. It's a quest? You have to do a quest to be able to change your fairy? You rotate through your buttons when you heal on Sage in dungeons. Okay. Alright, so now I have to deal with my damage buttons. So Dosis goes on Z. Dyscrasia. Toxicon is what? This is like a... Oh, this is something that you use to consume Addersting. This goes on Shift Z. This is the AoE Phlegma. Deals unaspected damage to target all enemies. Restores HP to targets under the effect of Cardion. Is Cardion a single target? Is there nothing I can do to change that? It's always just one person? Okay, I think we're all set. I still have no idea what any of these buttons do, but I'm going to do my best here. Okay. Toxicon is Ruin 2. Every time a shield pops, you get one stack. Toxicon is shield is Ruin 2. Every time your shield pops, you get a stack of Addersting. So I can have 3 stacks. I'm assuming that's what these things down here are. The budget team-wide Cardion and Dawn Trail. Okay, so it's just single target. Let's figure out what needs a macro. All of my single target stuff needs macros. So Druocol, need a macro for this. Use Toxicon when you need to move a lot. Sages have like a million instant cast things. Do you need to rely on Toxicon so much to move? So this is Druocol. Okay, great. Isuna needs a macro, which I think we have, right? Yeah, there we go. Haima. Marks a magic barrier around self or target party member. Alright, that needs a macro. Panheima's AoE. Icarus. That needs a macro. It's like ethereal manipulation, right? Unable to cast if bound. When you're dealing damage, your only instant casts are Toxicon and Phlegma. Okay. Alright. It's AoE, AoE. Physis 2. Gradually restores own hit points and hit points of all nearby party members. Okay. Toracol. This needs a macro. Shifty is the AoE version of Toracol. Hepsis is AoE. Holos is AoE. Pneuma, AoE. Grants 4 stacks of Soteria. Each stack increases the cure potency of Cardion effects granted by you by 70%. Wow. Hey, Northcross, thank you for that. Appreciate that. Yeah, we got to 90 on the Astro. Now I'm doing my best to grok what Sage does, which isn't easy. Hmm. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we need a macro for a Garo. Like what? Why can't they just call it Ascend? Why? Come on. Just call make res a cross class ability and call it Ascend. We're fancy. Oh, I see. I see. Got it. Okay. All right, what do I have? Of all the abilities people have been telling me to use, what do I actually have access to at level 73? It's an AoE heal. Okay. I have all of my DPS abilities. This one becomes a dot, right? Yeah, this becomes a damage over time. Eucrasia in doses. And I'm gonna panic at some point and I'm just gonna recast Cardia. I know it. It should be called Raise? Fine. Call it whatever you want. Just make it the same thing for all the classes. Because they wanted to make it all Greek and weird. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. The nice thing about having all of the macros is I can just like at a glance look at my bars and see exactly which abilities are single target. It's silly, I know, but it's important to me. Okay, now I need to actually say I need to know which abilities I have on cooldown. Which ones I have access to. This is like half my bars. Half of my bars are going to be cooldowns. So I think I'm just going to wait for that until I identify which ones are like super critical. Because everything is on like a 30 second, 60 second, 120 second cooldown. Cycle through Kara and Tora to give your tank 10% mitigation for 30 seconds. Okay. Okay. Caracol. Caracol. 30% is 10% for 30 seconds. So yeah, 10% there. For 15 seconds. Now I have to remember where I put Caracol. Not Caracol. Toracol. Where's Toracol? Toracol is it, this? Yes. Alright, hey, look at that. We're learning. We're learning. Alright, so that's 10%... Oh, sorry. Yeah, 10% damage reduction on AoE. 10% damage reduction on single target. That's on E. They both heal. They're both Addersgall. This does... Actually, hang on. This one heals, right? This one does not. This is just... AoE mitigation. You hit red mage 90? Hey, nice. Congrats, Northcross. Caracol eventually gets a regen, is that what you're saying? Because right now it's just a 10% damage mitigation. Is there like a passive that I get? Enhanced Caracol, level 78? Yeah, there you go. That's nice. That's nice. So you just have Reaper left? Man, I like Reaper. Reaper's a fun class. Is there a reason why you left it for last? Okay, I think we're good. Or as good as we're gonna get. I don't know what to press. I have no idea any of these buttons. I think this is... That's big. That's the big healing, right? Which also applies to your shields, because your shields heal. Your shields are applied for a percentage of the healing that you do. Having a warrior will make it a lot easier. Yeah, I mean that's true. It'll make it a lot easier. I don't want to learn. I don't want to learn bad habits. At the same time, because it's not always going to be a warrior. Instant cast. All right. Damage mitigation and heal. Damage mitigation. AoE. No heal yet. Strong single target shield. So, do all the shields applied by Haima proc Adder's bites or Adder sting? Adder sting. Need a regen? Pop Physis. Alright, what's Physis? Physis is this one. 60 seconds. AoE regen. It doesn't? It should. It definitely should. Which shields grant Adder sting? Is this basically everything else then? Boom. Caracol. So when Caracol gets a regen, you're also talking about... Wow, that's going to be amazing. That button's going to be so much fun to press later on. Yeah, that's going to be a great button to press. My shields are so tiny. Look at that. My little shield bar. Eucrasian Prognosis gives you Adder Sting if your shield pops. Eucrasian Diagnosis gives Adder Sting whenever it pops whoever it's applied to. Okay, that's unfortunate. So you're saying that if I use my AoE, then only the shield applied to me counts. Okay. Caracol is great. Yeah, it seems like it would be. Alright. Does anybody else want to join while I fail at healing? Quite dramatically. I mean, dominate healing. 100%. No one will ever die. Ever. For the purposes of Adder Sting. Okay, got it. That's too bad. You'll join once the NA data center travel becomes a thing. What data center are you on? Only the Eucrasian shields. Okay. So only the Eucrasian shields apply Adder Sting. Wow, you just walk in and you get 3 stacks of Adder Sting? That's crazy. You're gonna die so much on this dungeon. I'm just saying right now. Setting the expectations, dude. You are gonna die so much. And then I AoE. And I AoE my brains out. Right? Well, I'm dead. Holy shit, dude. Oh my god. That wasn't anybody's fault but my own. I just like didn't even see the AoEs on the ground. My god. I'm sure you'll be fine because you're a warrior. The healer didn't adjust? If I had enough shields on, it wouldn't have been a problem. Obviously. Alright, what is the thing that I use to absorb Adder Sting? To use Adder Sting? Is it Toxicon? Slowly Toxicon? Do this? Wow. What does this button do again? I feel like I should be pressing something else. Is it Phlegma? I need to press this button? That's like an AoE. I have 2 charges of that. Toxicon has the same potency as Dosis. Its instant cast is an AoE. Okay, so it's just a... Same potency as Dosis. Same potency as Dosis at what number of targets? Or does it matter? Because if I look at the potencies, it's what, 300 for Dosis and... Where's Toxicon? 240? And 50% less for all remaining enemies? So it said, this is a DPS gain at 2 or higher targets? It's an AoE Dosis. That is... maybe later. I don't know. The potencies are very clearly not the same right now. It's different at lower levels. Okay, got it. Thank you. I was very confused for just a second. Sorry, I'm not even looking. Not even looking at the tank, man. Toxicon 2 is the one that does the damage. Got it. Wow, you get that. You get a lot of sound effects when you play Sage, I gotta say. There's a lot of sound effects going on right now, and I don't necessarily know what they indicate. I think that one of them means, like, you've got your Adder Sting ready. One of them means that you have your Adder's Gall capped out. He's got Cardia, it's fine. That's right, man. That's all I'm doing. Just gotta DPS my brains out and keep everybody alive. Oh, we're so close to using that one dead. You love the lasers? It's fun. Yeah, I'm having a good time with it. Now that I actually have got my buttons in places that I think make sense. Oh, don't want to do that. So is Haima just a big ol' I win button for mitigation? It feels like having like layered shields on somebody. It seems really powerful. Haima is OP. Okay, yeah, thank you for verifying that, because it seems extremely strong. Just wait until you get Panhaima. I'm looking forward to it. It's so strong that a lot of times it just falls off before all of the shields pop. And then it heals. And then it heals. That's the crazy thing. Should use that Caracol way earlier. Okay. Shoot. How do I heal? How do I actually heal? Imagine Astra with Sage, Super Shield with Regen and buffs. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. Don't you group up on me. Wait, do I have an AoE heal that uses Adderskull at this point? I'm trying to figure out, like, what I have here. Alright, let's do that. For no good reason. We're gonna kill this guy before he even gets into his other set of abilities. That's crazy. The DPS in this party is super, super high. You should have Ixicol. I don't remember what that is. There it is. Okay. Shift G. Aha. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. So Shift G is an AoE heal that uses Adderskull. Okay, okay, got it. You're sitting here imagining Pictomancer, Sage, Astra, Viper. All in Alliance raids. I always have my spell effects turned to minimum. So I only ever really see the things that I have to see to get by. Yeah, I think the graphics update's gonna be pretty good. I can't wait for that. I'm actually very excited for that. Can you install your new CPU? That could be scary. That could be a scary thing. I get that. Wow, I've got a gigantic shield. Amazing. Gotta say, the style of healing is just so much different. Whoops, didn't want to cast that. It's very, very different than Astrology. It's crazy. Also, the DPS in this group is really good. Wow, that was insane. All right, Reaper, you get the comm. Why not? You enjoyed Sage because it has a button for literally every situation. You know, funny that thing is that a lot of people told me the exact same thing about Astrologian. I think it's just a common thing about the healers, is that they all have buttons for almost everything. Just if you know what buttons to press, the healers have buttons to press. According to some Mediator folks, the graphics update was so good with the full effect, it's made it difficult for them to play the normal game as it is. That's saying a lot, honestly. I mean, for sure the normal game looks dated. Let's just all be on the same page about that. It looks really dated. It looks good, but man, the textures are just... give me a break. Please, do something about that. I'm glad that they're finally upgrading the engine. That's fantastic. Good for them. You fell in love with the star theme of Astro and the card animations? Scholar's a bit too academic for you? And I can't imagine why. So the only person that died in that whole dungeon was me. Only 2 weeks to go. Yeah, right. How dare you talk about Hien's outfit? His pixels are fine. No, they're not. They're not fine. I'm Hien shaming right now. They're not fine. So how much does it heal for? Like Cardion. How much does Cardion actually heal for? If I'm DPSing. It seems like it's a lot, because I'm seeing like 2,000 damage, 2,000 hit point heal pop up every time. It seems like a ton. $170 potency. So it's 170 potency every 3 seconds or something like that, 2 seconds. It's not bad. So I can basically do all of my healing off global cooldown. Or instant cast. One of the two. That's crazy. Wow, what? How is this class even in the game? How does this class even exist? Soteria. Increase it by 70%. Yeah. Yeah. Why is Soteria not good in raids? Is that what you're saying? You went to a dummy? Oh, you're talking about the DPS. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on chat. Sometimes I get the conversation threads a little bit interweaved. This boss is so great. This boss is fantastic. Just double barrier healer. Yeah, exactly. And they don't stack, right? Or do their shields actually stack? I thought that was the reason why I didn't bring double barrier healers, is that the shields didn't interact well together. They don't. Yeah, okay. The GCD shields do not stack. That's what I thought. Seraph Shield and Holos can, but the GCD shields do not. Why would you ever do that? I don't know. You tell me. I'm not a raid healer. Yet. Yet. And with this whole, like, healer strike thing going on, who knows? Maybe I'll be the healer that you've all come to expect. think people doing that healer strike are stupid. Like, actually stupid. Oh, yeah, no, that's... I was talking about that earlier. The Final Fantasy XIV community's this, like, insane ability to make drama out of nothing. Just... it's remarkable. And I keep forgetting about it until I'm reminded about it the next time. And it always happens. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot. Final Fantasy XIV community is really good at just making drama happen. Out of nothing. Insanely good. That's what I'm saying. Like, these guys are basically they get paid to play the game 100% of the time, right? That's like all they do is play this game. You gotta expect they're gonna be really good at it and be able to do things that other people will not be able to do. Right? Like, that's just common knowledge, right? People are aware of this. It's like trying to figure out why you don't look as good as a model, right? A paid model. Oh my god. Oh, was I just... Okay, I'm just horrible at this game. I'm just horrible at this game, never mind. Why was I so much better at this game when I was playing Astrologian? If you're getting paid to do something, naturally you're going to be like doing that most of the time, right? So, if I'm a bikini model, swimsuit model, all I do is spend my time, you know, working out. You can't really compare your body to my body, because all I do is spend time working out. It's the same with Final Fantasy XIV. Like, these people, all they do is spend time playing this game. So yeah, they'll have an easier time than probably the vast majority of players will have with this game. Not surprising. In fact, completely expected. Never mind the fact that I'm sitting here trying to figure out what buttons I have to press here. Alright, boom. What did that do? Well, that's the one that consumes the shields. You. There we go. There we go. I'm trying to figure out what to press. Boom. There we go. Easy. That's why Sharp didn't want to say what his work was. I mean, listen, I don't spend 5 hours a day working out. So I don't compare myself to people that do spend 5 hours a day working out. That's all I'm saying. I don't spend 8 hours a day playing Final Fantasy XIV. So I don't compare myself to people that do play, you know, spend 8 hours a day playing Final Fantasy XIV. But yeah, that's me. I'm a bikini model, obviously, Chad. You guys are weird. Your headcanon is every time I click Pepsis. Which one is Pepsis? Oh, it's this one. Removes the... That's right. This is the one that removes the effects and heals people. Sharp as a bikini model? Obviously. Come on. Wait, didn't think I was? Pepsis is the useless one. It's not that bad. So wait, my Cardia heals can crit independently of whether or not I crit my Dosis? That's wild. That is actually really wild. So crit is like twice as useful on Sage, because your Dosis and your Cardia heal are two separate crit rolls. Is that right? Do Sages just want crit over everything else? I mean, generally I feel like that's pretty much what all healers want. They just want crit all the time. You prefer Coxis over Pepsis? Unbelievable. I just used Pepsis. Just for hell of it. Just because I wanted to. Nice job. Good work, team. White Mage and Sage meld crit, Astrologian, and Scholar meld spell speed. Interesting. Almost useless ability. Has niche applications. It's my job now to just use it whenever I can. The niche applications are whenever I decide to press the damn button. That's what it. That's what the application is. That's fine. I'm gonna be the only healer left in the game pretty soon. I don't mind. I don't mind. It's gonna be me, and that's it for Dawn Trail. Are you ready? If you're on Crystal, it's just gonna be me healing. If you're playing your little Viper, you better be ready. All right, you better be ready. Playing your little Pictomancer, your little Viper, whatever your little DPS class is. Surprise! All the healers went on strike because apparently you could do a dungeon without one. So, this is it. This is the best you got. I want that dancer to give me dance partner. We got two sages here? Interesting. Just gonna go stand on the black mage. Because why not? Alright, here we go. Boom. Pepsis. Boom again. Oh my god. The healer strike will surely work. That's right. I mean, how could it not work? It's obviously a well-coordinated message from the players of the game in response to an injustice. That sucks. In response to a severe injustice perpetrated by the uncaring developers against all of the innocent healers. It's very sad. Is this the one that reduces damage healed? Unable to heal wounds via any method save Mega Potions. Yeah, okay. Well, you're on your own now. But wait. Can I shield people still? Does that still work, or does it not work? I don't think it works still. Because your shields are like a percentage of your healing done, right? So if I do this... Yeah, no heal. Okay, no shield. You gotta use your Mega Potion. Get away from me. Sage Squad, go! Did you know that Coke is named after the fact they put cocaine in the drinks? They're purposefully spreading misinformation. Okay, well, if you're spreading misinformation, then why was it called Coke? Tell me that. Can I res him? Dude, you're screwed. You're screwed! I'm not grouping up there. Yeah, you can't say this is misinformation and not post the actual information. All right, you gotta back it up. How do we know you're not just saying that you're spreading misinformation and that's the lie, right? We don't. Oh, nice Mega Potion right there at the very last second. Okay, I learned Rizomata. Which one is that? What does that do? Is called Coke after the creator, Carl McCokerstein. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that guy. Famous drink creator, Carl McCokerstein. Shift mouse 4. Is that the one that gives me Adder Skull? Okay, that's the one that gives me a stack of Adder Skull. Nice, got it. Thank you. Would it be sweet if they forced you into the post-potion flex animation from the older Monster Hunter games? I have no idea what that is. The post-potion flex animation. Oh, when you drink a potion, did you used to, like, flex? I know exactly what you're talking about now, because for Monster Hunter World, there's like a bunch of things that you do that when you use an item. You're like item, and then you do like the stupid flex. You'd be animation locked into the flex. Man, that is crazy. Hey, congratulations on using that potion. I hope you weren't in a bad spot. You didn't have anywhere to go because you're flexing. Enjoy. Should be on Shift M5. There we go. As a Monster Hunter veteran, you have no idea how glad I was to see that gone in World. World was my first Monster Hunter entry. It was the first Monster Hunter game I've ever played, and it was really good. I was hardcore addicted to that game for a long time. I streamed it for a bit too, although my little laptop could not handle the graphics. Even at the lowest settings, it was just more than it could handle. Heals used to instantly fill the HP back, as opposed to World, where it gradually went up. I hear that a lot, Ryuki. Generations Ultimate, for whatever reason, folks have like this real deep attachment to. I've never played it, so I can't really say. You have played almost all of the mainline Monster Hunter games since the first one. Only ones that you've missed were the ones on the 3DS. Isn't that Generations Ultimate? Wasn't that on the 3DS? What was it released on? Generations Ultimate is like the Smash Bros. Ultimate of the Monster Hunter series. Everyone is there. All the monsters, all the zones, everything. Generations Ultimate was on the Switch. Oh, really? Oh, well then. I didn't stop to see what abilities I have access to here. So I hope I've got, I hope I have things to heal. Alright, I got Shift E and I've got C. I think that's all I need. Do I have an AoE heal? I keep asking that. I have no idea. Let's see. Is my AoE heal... No, I don't, really. I don't. I just have prognosis. Okay. I have, Physis, my AoE regen, on a very long cooldown. Ixicol. Shift G. Ixicol is the AoE heal, but you don't have it at this level. It is level 52, and I'm level 50. The big aerial blast. Not bad, not bad. Am I crazy, or is Angel Thump not a native Twitch emote? It should be. I mean, it really should be. I use Angel Thump all the time. Alright, Ryuki. Have a good one. I'll see you next time. We might be leveling some more Sage. Who knows? We'll see. The live letter? I wonder if they're going to talk about the healer strike. Playing the best healer already, the warrior. The healer strike made you laugh. It's definitely a humorous thing. I can't believe it, honestly. I'm just in shock. But they're like, yeah, well, I think healers are the only people in the game that should be able to heal, regen. How? There has never been a game, ever, an MMO, where people don't run like tank and all DPS, run no healer optimizations, right? That's just never been a thing. Always you see that happen. I don't know, it's so weird to me. It's so weird, but okay. Whatever helps them cope with playing healers in Final Fantasy XIV. I understand it's a hard thing. You're gonna organize a Crystal Tower strike. If they don't address the healer strike as they should, then we should organize a roulette strike. There you go. There you go. Well, we just won't do roulettes anymore. But you're playing a DPS anyway, so shoot yourself in the foot a little bit, but that's okay.
Can his strength truly be so great?
It is the blessing of light that confounds you.
They're just using the drama to stay entertained for the next 2 weeks? Yeah, that's right. That's right. I should change my title to Healer Strikebreaker. Playing Sage. Defying the community. Oh! What a crazy streamer!
So, this is what empowers
They should change the game so there's no more healing except for healers that have the Monster Hunter potions.
Beyond mortal limits.
I love it.
If you are to prevail, the hammer of darkness must needs be brought to bear upon the shield of light. And so it shall, for the ultimate weapon is host to a power of which you
This
are
brave streamer, that's right. Brave streamer crosses the healer picket line that he didn't even know about before he went live. But, yeah, exactly.
The heart of Sabik. It is the weapon's core.
That's right.
An enigma
eschewing the healer community. Standing alone.
Failed to scratch. The magic within has lain dormant for eons.
Of what magic do you speak?
Of course it's a Lalafell. Yeah, that's right.
A spell without parallel.
I'm gonna have to
Ultima.
cosplay my Lalafell at some point. I'll just cosplay a 6'4" 4" version of my Lalafell.
Primals for no other reason but to quicken the core. For the true power of the Ultima weapon lies within its now beating heart.
It's now beating hard.
La Brea, what have you done?
What have you done?
No more than was necessary for my god to be reborn.
They aren't they? Better get a big chair. That's actually true. If I get a big enough chair, then I can make it look like I'm really small.
But a sliver of my god's power.
You like my adventuring sweater? Yeah, me too. This is a good glam. I don't really have a white sweater with that nice like cable texture.
Pit of the seven hells to the very pinnacle of the heavens, the world shall tremble. Unleash Ultima!
Well, we unleashed Ultima again. I basically have everything that this outfit has in my closet, aside from the sweater. And the scarf. I would need to find a scarf that looks nice. It's almost like we do this weekly. Sometimes daily.
This was not my intention.
He said the thing!
Oh, Hydaelyn. It seems the task of keeping your champion alive has exhausted what strength you had left. Van Belsar, your enemy's shield is broken. The rest I leave to you.
We will speak later, Ascian. But first, I must deal with you. The question of who is mightier remains.
So much more complicated of a character expansions later.
Let us find the answer together.
His depth of character later does not excuse his shallowness of character here. Like, they can go back and retcon as much of the stuff as they want. He's still a really, like, shallow bad guy in the context of this event. How do we not exit the cutscene at the same time? I don't understand how that works, chat. Can you help me out here? Why is that a thing? I keep seeing homing lasers and I think it's an AoE attack. It's instanced, and the internet connections vary. Isn't the cutscene, like, on the client? I thought the cutscene was run on the client. Is it the timing? Like, is the timing of advancing the dialogue somehow different between different people? Like, if you have a slow computer, does the timing change for when it actually advances the conversation? And, okay. I thought Etheric Boom was like a, there we go. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Actually, it was fine. It was fine. Wouldn't the activation of queuing the video have different latency? I don't know, man. I don't know how the game interacts with the cutscenes, but it feels like the way that you would implement something like that is to say, okay, play the cutscene. The cutscene takes 2 minutes to run. Now wait 5 seconds. And everybody's computer across the entire planet would say, okay, 2 minutes, cutscene, 5-second pause, would end at the same time. If it starts at the same time. Does it just not start at the same time? Is that why? Ow. think the signal to start would be different. Why? Why would you think that? Is there like latency on cutscenes that I don't know about? Maybe. Maybe there's latency on cutscenes I don't know about. Have I ever heard of server meshing? No, I've never heard that term. Let's say server meshing. The amazing thing that Star Citizen is actually trying to solve. Say what? I'm almost out of mana. Oh, I should be using my Adder's Gall. I need to use all my Adder's Gall stuff. What was that? Oh, that was Shift F. I need to use all my Adder's Gall. Get my mana back. There we go. That's better. The community probably has a graph somewhere or a Google Doc. Can somebody go over to the Final Fantasy XIV Reddit real quick and ask the question why some people get out of the cutscenes faster than other people? Because if there is a Google Doc, I want to know. A 3-minute cutscene is a 3-minute cutscene, so I don't know why there's like 5 or 6 seconds latency between the two people in our dungeon. Oh, okay. That was fun. Good game. I need to know. Tommy the Reaper for using the LB. Nice job. You like that they gave you an LB3 for this fight? Yeah, oh, I agree. It's fun that they gave you something so you could see what the LB3s look like, and the people can fight about who gets to use it. And then the tank uses it, and it's like, why'd you do that? Or the healer uses it. Isn't lag relational? It's a cutscene. It is a cutscene. That's what I'm saying. Like the whole thing, it's like playing a 10-minute cutscene. Why would playing a 10-minute cutscene here versus a 10-minute cutscene there take a different amount of time? There's clearly an element to this that I am not grasping. This one's 10 minutes. That one's 10 minutes and 6 seconds. They should be the same, but they're not. So we need to answer this question. We need to get this answered quickly, alright? They play the game with JP voices? Oh, okay, that's actually... Yeah, there you go. There you go, that might be it. If the language is different, the language matters in cutscene speed. There, that actually makes more sense than cutscenes lagging because of the internet. Nobody described what server meshing is. They just said it's something that Star Citizen is doing. German is the fastest. So if you really want a speed run, you have to watch all the cutscenes in German. That's pretty funny. They should allow the tanks to LB3 to defend against Ultima. Yeah, you have to do that later in actual raids, right? A lot of sprouts would wipe over and over again. Yes, they absolutely would. It's client side, so the server has to tell the client to play the cutscene. Yeah, it should. It should. Yes, I don't think that would account for that much lag. You have a YouTube video for me on server meshing? Okay, great. The MSQ cheese, before the change, people would switch to a different language and that would make the cutscenes go by faster. Yes. I like it. I like it a lot. Nice job. Good job, team. We figured it out. We solved the mystery. I'll do my quests later. For the... What is the ability I get from this? Can I actually see? What is this? Sands of Despair? It's not my quest log. It's just over there. What ability do I get from completing Sands of Despair? What? It's not in my quest log? Okay, got it. Cool. Tank LB3 and raids is pretty hype. It is pretty hype. The instances that you get to do it, I think it's very cool. You can understand German fluently, but you don't really like playing games with German dubs. That's fine. Alright, so what was I doing? I was going to QS for a dungeon. How about, I don't know if I'm ready for Holminster Switch yet. How about we do a Stormblood dungeon? How about we do the Burn? That one's always pretty fun. Your streamer's not doing their job quests? Listen, me not doing it right this second is different from me not doing it, alright? Yeah, this dungeon's got great music. I think I'm starting to understand. Drukol is like essential dignity. Or whatever this is. This button here, Shift F. It's like essential dignity. That's how it feels. Or look at your skills. If you see any grayed out that are past your level, you know, you can tell what you get. Okay. Okay. Alright, so that's the only way. You can't just look at the ability, or look at the quest, and it'll tell you what the reward is for. That doesn't work that way. Okay. I guess I should use Haima someday. It's slightly weaker than Essential, but you get to use it more. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Essential, at the end of the leveling curve, I feel like Essential is so weak. I don't know what it is, but it feels like I use Essential and it's just like nothing. Sometimes my tank's hit point bar doesn't even move. I need to remember, I have ethereal manipulation. The only other way is to go to the quest giver. And have the... Oh, you're right, because the quest giver will, you'll be able to see all the quest details from that person. Well, I guess we're going to all of these crystals way over here. That's fine, that's fine. Didn't need crystals anyway. Lucid dreaming is amazing for mana regen. I don't... The problem is, I never had to press Lucid on Astro. So I have a hard time remembering to press Lucid with this character. That's actually half my issue, is I'm trying to, like, relearn all of the buttons to press. How not to be an awful DPS while also healing at the same time. Alright, North Cross, have a great night. See you next time, alright? Astro people complain about mana? Dude, what? Maybe I'm not spending enough mana. Or something. Because I feel like between drawing cards and, I guess that was it. Oh, Astrodyne. Astrodyne was huge. Like, you just pop Astrodyne whenever it comes up, draw your cards, and I felt like I never had to worry about mana. Or maybe I just wasn't doing it right. Maybe I just needed to spend more mana or something. Jeez, that's a lot of AoEs on this pack, huh? What the hell is this? Astrodyne is gone now, so they're complaining. Who cares? God, man, who cares if it's going away in 2 weeks? Use it now while you have it. Astrologians out there, stop complaining. It's gonna be a totally different game. You're not even gonna be playing Endwalker anymore. You're gonna be playing Dawn Trail. Hello? You can't say you're gonna run out of mana 2 weeks from now without an ability that you're not gonna have anymore when you don't even know whether or not you still need it. What? Get out of here with that. That's... Oh, God. Hey, Gigoland, thank you for that raid. Welcome to the stream. How's everyone doing tonight? Look, we're playing some Astrologian. Can you believe it? I'm still trying to figure out what the hell's going on with this class. It's not easy. I have no idea what to do now. But I have some Master Sages. Oh, did I say Astrologian? We're playing Sage? We're playing Sage. That's what we're playing. We're talking about Astrologians just recently, so... There you go. We're playing Sage. Playing that one class. Yeah, we were talking about Astrologians, and I got Astrologian on the mind. I was getting really heated about Astrologians whining about not having Astrodyne anymore. You got so confused? Yeah, dude. It's very confusing around here. Don't worry. I spent like 45 minutes trying to set up my bars in a way that made sense. That I could actually use to heal. I'm still pressing the wrong buttons. How was your stream tonight? Playing some more, Dave the Diver? I feel like every time I want Haima to be up, it's not up. No one complained about the crafting jobs? They're too busy complaining about other stuff. You like Sage? It's been fun so far. Did they announce crafting changes that you didn't see? I don't know. That's a great question. Great question. I have no idea. Did they make huge changes? They always say they're going to make huge changes every single expansion. They say they're going to make huge changes. And it's always the same. I think the biggest change that I recall, that was like my 100%, I really wanted this to happen, was when they actually unified the names of all of the crafting abilities. Now if they could, like the touch and the progress ones, now if they could actually just make those into shared abilities, instead of me having to set up my, or like making them class specific for every class, just make them shared. I don't know. Why did they do that? Seems like it might be an obvious thing. Tackle box. Oh yeah. I mean, if we're talking about wish lists right now, the tackle box would be fantastic. I forget what this does. But I'm standing over here. Hopefully it doesn't hurt anybody. I dodged my own Pepsis. Dodge? Really? Double ninja. I just now realized we had two ninjas in the group. Favorite healing job? I don't know, man. I think in terms of presentation, it's the Astrologian. They have the coolest looking and sounding abilities. Sage seems like fun mechanically, but the, that sound, the notification sound that you have one more Adder Skull, one more Adder Sting, it's just like constantly going off. And it, is very annoying. So, if they changed that, it would be better. I think it might be better. Maybe it would go up in my regard. How's the Sage faring? Pretty well, pretty well. Lava Button, we've completed a number of dungeons so far. No one aside from me has died. That niche case where diagnosis was better for the situation? What was that? What case was that? Because if I pressed diagnosis, it was an accident. Yeah, the Scholar's Fairy is actually pretty fun. I mean, Scholars are great. I don't know, it's just they're... I find White Mage and Scholar to be very plain. You know? Then that's probably because they are the first healers in the game. But I find them to be very vanilla. I'll say that. They're very vanilla. It's not a bad thing. They're still very solid classes. I just find them a little bit boring. Kind of like Warrior? Warrior has its moments. But Warrior is probably my least favorite tanking class. If I had to rank them. Although, I do like Paladin as a tanking class. You'll just never see me play a Paladin. I'm more of a Dark Knight kind of guy. Hey, listen, man, it's nothing personal, alright? Alright. Oh, there goes Diagnosis again. You see, the problem is that I keep pressing Diagnosis, thinking that I've got you crazy in Diagnosis going, when I don't. Oh, I can give myself Adder Skull. That's right. Why does it feel like this pull is taking forever? It felt like that pull took so long. What happened? I feel like Dragoon peaked after Heavensward? Oh, I don't really... Okay, so here's the thing. I don't really enjoy the melee in this game. That might come across as a shock, because I have been a, like a mage main in this game for so long. To some people, like, what? You don't enjoy playing melee? Not really. And, wow, that was big. That was far larger than I was expecting. But, of the melees they have, I agree with you. I think that's, oh my god. I hate that ability. I think the ones that lost with the game are probably the, I don't know, just the most plain, you know? They get a bit more creative when they create new ones. Like Samurai. I'm a big fan of Samurai. I think that's a great class. Super fun. Very complicated, but very fun class. Maybe a exception to that might be ninjas? I don't know. Ninjas seem fine. I think monks have very cool looking abilities, but for whatever reason I find all the mechanics to be very dull. I just don't get any, like, satisfaction out of them. You like mugging people? As well you should. Please don't take this as me throwing shade. This is entirely me just saying, I prefer these things versus I prefer these other things. Or I don't prefer these other things. That's it. I need to remember I've got these Adder's Gall abilities that I have to press. Because it gives me back mana. So I must press them. Throwing shade as a black mage is pretty edgy. Wait, what? Don't say that. People might think you're being serious. Oh, I see. Got it. Smiley face. I forgot. As a black mage main, it's hard to switch off such a satisfying sounding job. The fire spell sounds are too good. Yeah, I agree. I'm a huge fan of Flare, personally. I think Flare is probably one of the most satisfying abilities in the game to use, just because of the way it sounds, which is why I was so disappointed when they made Flare less of a focus for the AoE rotation. They're like, well, it's the best ability that black mages have, but we're gonna make it so you cast that less, okay? Are you fine with that? And we're gonna give you high fire 2 and high blizzard 2, and those will actually make your AoE rotation more complicated and less satisfying. That's a risky move, but alright. Sounds good. If you insist. Flare was your favorite spell to use on trash mobs because it always ripped off in the tank when you got 3 flares? Yes! Casting 3 flares is probably one of the most satisfying things black mages can do. Right? You get all your buttons lined up, everything's perfectly set up. Keep casting Druical when I actually don't want to do that. Do you find the class fantasy better between WoW or Final Fantasy XIV? That's a really good question. Wow, that's something I hadn't really thought about. I think actually finding the class fantasy, it depends on what class you're talking about in Final Fantasy XIV. I think Black Mage is a fantastic fantasy. God, that is not an AoE damaging ability. I keep using my big AoE heals on things that aren't AoEs. I think Black Mage is a really strong fantasy. White Mage is pretty okay. I think there's a lot of things that just don't translate very well into a online game that Final Fantasy games are really known for. Like, what is the fantasy for White Mage? You cast Cure? You wear white and red? Is that really it? So, you know, in that regard, sure, it comes across just fine. But that doesn't seem very strong as a hook. The only class you prefer in World of Warcraft is Shaman. I want to say, I feel like World of Warcraft is excellent class fantasy. Excellent class fantasy. Every class feels different. Every class feels unique. Even every spec of every class feels unique and has like their own mechanics and special things, and it's remarkable to me that they're able to basically design what, like 40 different classes or something like that in that game, and they all feel pretty good for the most part. Legion was definitely the class fantasy expansion. And it was so hard to go from Legion to BFA because they took away all of that. I was really sad. I was so sad when they took away the artifact weapons, because my goodness, dude, those were so solid. Those were so solid. And they made your class feel amazing. And then they took them away, and suddenly your class feels awful. They should have, in my opinion, they should have just taken a lot of those talents and rolled them into your class as like a baseline thing before just taking it all away from you. But that's way in the past. Yeah, I want to say that in terms of class fantasy, like Final Fantasy XIV, they have some really strong ones, like Gunbreaker and Sage feels like they feel very uniquely that. When you start talking about some of the older classes, I think it gets a bit weaker. Like, what is the class fantasy for? I don't know. Pick a class, and it comes down to, can you use like one or two abilities? So I think they could have done a good job. I think Monk actually has really good class fantasy in this game. They did a really good job making monks feel like monks, right? Ninjas, pretty good too. The ninjutsu mechanic I think is really, really solid. Machinist? I thought Machinist had far better class fantasy when they had ammunition. Like, then it feels like a really strong, like, cool class with a very unique hook. Now that they don't have that, and their differentiating factor for Machinists is effectively like, I use a bunch of on-global cooldown abilities. And I have a couple hard-hitting things. I like the graphics for Machinists. I think they did a good job with that. Like, the artwork is good. They did a good job with the artwork. It felt more like a gunner than a machinist back then. Well, who says they can't have both? Who says you can't have both ammunition and big robots? Like, I feel like it was far more interesting back then than it is now. Dragoon actually feels pretty good, but it's simple. I feel like Dragoon's gotten better. Dragoon got way better after Heavensward. For a long time, Dragoon was like, what? And then when they finally started really leaning into the dragon lore, that's when it started to really take off. That was pretty cool. Now it's very, very well defined what a Dragoon is and why you want to play it. Gunbreaker's kind of a curveball to you? Yeah. I like the idea that you're this, you swing this, like, one-handed sword, and you've got a lot of focus on managing your ammunition. I don't know, maybe ammunition is just a big thing for me, and I just find that very satisfying as a mechanic hook. Paladin feels pretty strong. Bard. I think Bard's as good as they're gonna get. Bard's probably as good as they're gonna get. Integrating songs into it is a bit tricky in a way that feels satisfying. I think that's probably the problem that they have with that class. And I mean, maybe I'm just biased because, like I said, I really wished Bard was Ranger. I really wanted Bard to be Ranger. I did not want Bard as it was. I keep forgetting about that ability. I'm a frog! Sage is difficult for you at first, but now it's your favorite healer. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely easy to say what makes a sage, right? Big focus on these, like, long cooldown shield abilities. You got the Nulets, obviously. That's very unique, but in terms of how it plays compared to other healers, I think Sage has a pretty strong identity. Astrologian has a very strong identity. So I have to kill this guy before he finishes his song, huh? You liked Paladin because it wasn't the typical Holy Knight. It's definitely leading into that now, yes. It has been for a few expansions, I think. The original lore for Paladin was like, basically, what, Knight of Ul'dah? Or something like that? I forget. I forget exactly what it was, but it was definitely not, you know, I see the light, I channel the power of the divinity towards, to kill my foes. And protect my friends. Elite Guard. Yeah, that's right. The Elite Guard of Ul'dah. I actually got that shield off in time? Amazing. Let's see. So I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. What did Black Mage become now without the 13th and the Void being a thing? I thought the Void was still a thing. And that's why 0 is staying on the 13th. Am I wrong? I'll be honest, I just skimmed the MSQ. Haha, now you're a frog. How does it feel? I don't know, maybe the black magic was the true black magic was coming from the inside all along. He turns into a frog, yeah, if you don't kill him before he tries to cast the second, like, Fool's Liar's Liar, that thing, he turns himself into a frog. Hey, nice emotes, Ada. You thought we kind of fixed it, but it has to get repaired like the first. The first and the 13th will always be in a perpetual state of being messed up. I don't think we'll ever get to a situation where the first is completely cool and clean, you know, and restored. Or where the 13th is completely cool and clean and restored. It's never going to happen. That's just the nature of MMOs. Not unless it becomes like a focus of an entire expansion where they're like, oh, we're on the first, we discovered a whole new continent or something like that. Which shard are we? The source? We don't have a number. We're number 0, I guess. Let's do one more. Never finished the Endwalker. You talking about the Endwalker base campaign or the filler content afterward? Did I not Cardion Sulu last time for that last dungeon? I don't think I did. You never finished the base or the filler? What happens? A lot happens. We saved the world. We saved the universe, basically, based on the way that they present the main bad guy. Well, actually, I take that back. The universe is already pretty fucked, but we stopped it from getting worse on the source. And then in the filler contents, we basically save this guy's sister, and then we meet some characters that kind of stick around for a little bit, and then we stop the 13th from doing stuff. I don't know. Like the world of darkness is basically where all this stuff happens. We do a lot of fighting there, and then the end. We fight a lot of bad guys, and that's it. There's the space rabbits, yes. We solved it, so we'll piss off the bunny people because that was their job. Yeah, we kind of stepped on their toes a little bit, didn't we? They're like, the only reason that we exist is because we need to help you all get ready to leave. And this is a giant spaceship, and we're like, yeah, we got this, don't worry. And now they're like, well, what do we do now? It's pretty sad. I'll be honest. It is pretty sad. What do we do now? They're all just looking at each other. I don't understand. So if all of the Loperids have names that are associated with like their professions or what they do, right? You got like managing way and dancing way and You know, these people that, like, it's very clearly part of their personality. What does pudding way do? I was just thinking about this the other day. There's a guy there named Pudding Way. Is he just like... Is he the pudding master? Is that his job? His job is just pudding? My job is pudding. He's not the cook, he just makes pudding. Wouldn't the cook be cooking away? Hey, Shadow. Doing alright. Having silly conversations about Final Fantasy XIV. How's it going? Yeah, what was the jungle level called in Shadowbringers? The Raktika Greatwood? The Lahi jungle? They actually explained him in the Beast Tribe conversations as part of the cooking staff, so if he's part of the staff, then yeah, he's the pudding guy. Hey, what's up? I'm the pudding guy. That's me. Been the pudding guy since I was born. That's why it's my name. The pudding guy. It's gotta suck, man. It's like, that's your whole thing. From birth. You're the pudding guy. Reminds me of the God of Rain in American Gods. The God of Rain in American Gods. How does that remind you of the God of Rain in American Gods? Because it's just the God of Rain? It's just rain? I swear. Stop shooting me with everything you have, please. Leave me alone. I'm just a simple healer. I'm just doing my job. I read it many years ago. Many, many years ago. Like 20 years ago. Something like that. It knows I'm a black mage? Damn it. It knows. I'm trying not to stand on the black mage. The black mage should really be dropping that ley lines right in the dead center of the room. Directly under the boss. You don't like getting level synced on black mage? Yeah, no one does. No, it's awful. Feels bad, particularly when you get level sync down to like below 50. God, man, that is such an awful feeling. How much will I enjoy being able to move those ley lines? I don't know. I don't know how much I'll enjoy it because I haven't seen the content that they're designing that requires it yet. Moving ley lines is not required in any content so far, so I have to see the content that they've designed that needs it before I can really say how much I'll enjoy it. So, do Sages just do, like, a ton of DPS? I feel like my burst damage is insane. In terms of the content that we've done so far, like if I were just to say, you know, if I go back to Shadowbringers and I can then move my ley lines, because I, you know, clearly can't do that, but yeah, it would be nice. I actually really enjoyed that aspect of Black Mage because of the strategy that's involved, right? Like, you have to be extremely good at placing your ley lines. Particularly considerate. And that was part of it that I looked forward to doing. So in a sense, they're taking that away. On the surface, I think it should be fine, depending on whether or not the content they designed for it is good. But at the same time, I can't help but be a little bit sad. Because I feel like they are removing a part of the class that I really enjoyed. And that means that the content they're designing in the future will also not have that. So the bosses will be, they may or may not be designed with mechanics that I will enjoy, because they're giving me an ability that removes an aspect of the class that I liked. Does that make sense? So I'm a little bit worried, but at the same time, I'm not letting that stop me from being optimistic. I just realized Sages don't have a DPS buff button. Don't have a DPS button. That's kind of nice, actually. Wait, why can I not? Oh, because it's already active. I'm like, why can I not press this button? What is happening? Because it's already active. Caracol should give a buff. Black Mage, I will stand upon you. Don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. There's no way we're gonna die here. I have these buttons I need to remember to press. Like everything. Oh, no, I keep reapplying Eucrasium doses also. I'm getting really bad about that. Oh, it'll be fine. There's no way this is gonna land on top of me, alright? You never even moved to that fight? Tank privilege, man. Just got lucky, too. A little bit of luck, a little bit of tank privilege. I think you'll test the waters with Pictomancer, then level Gunbreaker, and settle in to Astrologian once you're adjusted to the new mechanics. Seems like a good plan. Oh no! Don't kill me! No, it's fine. So do my newlets like light up when I've got my whatever this is, Eucrasia on? Whoops. You know, it's not supposed to do. It's not supposed to work like that. If I don't have the target selected, or if I'm not hovering over target, my mouse over macro is not supposed to cast on me. I keep forgetting I've got these buttons down here too. Increased potency and other things. Let me try that real quick. Let's just do this. Not bad. Wait for me! So how did the DPS, the melee DPS, just stand there and take that? I feel like that should kill you. That should 100% just kill you. Looked like he was coming for me. Oh god. Alright, stand in the center, stack up. Yeah, this is weird. Actually having to care about mana. Like, what? Hello? I actually have to press Lucid Dreaming? This is so awkward. I have to press Lucid Dreaming back in Stormblood. I'm talking about compared to Astrologian, specifically. You're not wrong. But, yeah, I was talking about a different thing. So many darn heals. So good. Oh god, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die! I'm totally fine. I'm gonna use Pepsis. Look at that. So much healing. Cards refill mana for reasons? Yes, exactly. I mean, with the cards and the Astrodyne, I just never had to press Lucid. It was just never a problem. I could DPS my brains out and I was always 100% mana. As long as I pressed my buttons on time. Yeah, good game, Sulu. That was a lot of fun. Warriors really are just overpowered in dungeons. Nothing feels worse than losing Astral Fire mid-flare cast. Yeah, if you're trying to go for that, you're watching your Enochian tick down, right? You got the 3 seconds left on Enochian, and you're like, do I press flare? Do I not press flare? It's a 50-50 at that point. Hello, Altason Prime. Orm Vale still sucks. It's not easy. Yeah, it's not an easy dungeon. It happens to the best of us. Don't feel bad about it. Dropping a Enochian. So do I not get an ability from this? I just get to continue the questline and get a little bit of experience points. Wonder how long before you memorize all the slide casting timings. I have a clip of myself slide casting an entire cast of Thunder 3. Seriously, slide casting 2.5 seconds. I cast a spell, I ran in a direction, and it's still completed. So, what slide casting timings? It's a myth. It's like, sometimes they work, but timey-wimey, you know, very internet things. Final Fantasy XIV code happens sometimes. You're gonna mean warrior for Dawn Trail? You gotta get them quick Qs? Hey, there you go, man. Main warrior for Dawn Trail. Never use a healer again. Always go warrior triple DPS. Alright. Let's make all the healers. Make all the healers completely obsolete. Who needs them? Clearly not the Final Fantasy XIV Elite. If you're looking for like a general guidance for sidecasting, it's like half a second. It's like half a second to, if you're really lucky, 3/4 of a second. But half a second is generally where you want to do it, like right around there. There's like a built-in lag compensation in Final Fantasy XIV, and you're essentially using that to cheat. That's why everything feels so floaty when you play this game. And why in PvP you can still hit people when they're behind buildings and stuff. It's because there's like a built-in lag compensation that in general means that people from various places across, you know, in different locales have very similar experiences. Because the lag is hidden in other things, the way that the game behaves. But in like most situations for me, it just feels very floaty. Feels like I'm in space, right? Doesn't feel snappy. Like World of Warcraft is like super responsive. Final Fantasy XIV is not that. Your slide time will be when the emote symbol lights back up. Keep an emote on your hotbar. Ha! There you go. Perfect. Oh, it's the evil sage. Of course he's a rabbit. The weight of the sin. Oh, this is very heavy. Heavy stuff. This guy looks like a scholar. Yeah, give that a shot. I never did that myself, but yeah, give that a shot. Oh, shut your mouth or I'll use my evil newlets on you. Oh yeah? Well, I've got good newlets. Is he gonna make us fight his pet ants? Is he gonna make us fight his giant pet ants? Oh no! A sage joke weapon where the newlets are just noodles? Oh, this guy was ready to go Super Saiyan. Uh-oh. Bad things. So, when do I get to make things huge? Is that a sage ability that he just used? When do I get to, like, just make an ant into a giant ant? Have they still not released those community joke skins from the contest? I don't know what you're talking about. What community joke skins? I'm tired of the potato jokes. Yeah, right, exactly. Like, I would absolutely use that on myself. I want to be a giant Lalafell. Like, do you remember that, there was like a Final Fantasy XI crossover event where Shantoto was a fate monster and she was like 30 feet tall? That's me. That monk comes by and is like, whack! That one punch on the giant ant. There's a monk weapon that was shaped like 2 shark gloves on your fists. That sounds amazing. Is Faldrene the bad guy? Is the bad sage actually the good sage? Is he just trying to save his friends? Are we all gonna be bros in the end? Chances are pretty high. Is he just misunderstood? Does he actually have good intentions? The enhancement. Are they hyper-tuned? He's the evil Charlatan. And like I said, of course he's a rabbit. Wait a second. She's their mother? Or is she just using that figuratively? You thought all Charlatans were evil? Just the rabbit ones. Just those Vieira. Rabbits are twinks, but they're not evil. Aha, okay. You had the perfect chance to apprehend your fugitives, but you didn't. Why not? You should have. What kind of sheriff are you? They're my adopted children. Okay. So, when you were looking at them earlier, you didn't recognize them because they were so well disguised. Healer? Goldavane. Oh, that's the next person we have to go talk to. I don't like this guy. I don't like that guy at all. It rubs me the wrong way. I think it's the jacket. And the monocle? Who wears a monocle? Seriously. Demos. Alright, man. Well, enjoy yourself. Have fun. You want her to be your adoptive mother? Alright, what are we doing? Sands of Despair. Turning this quest in. I have to do all these quests and I get one ability at level 80, right? What's my level 80 ability anyway? Is it Panheima? That's probably it. I was expecting it to be like one ability per quest like it was a long time ago. Poisoned gift. We'll do this one later. I'll do that one some other time. Sketch. I'm sure you are. I'm not surprised. I think everyone is. I remember when they said that they didn't add female Hrothgar because they didn't feel comfortable that they had done them justice or something like that. Something along those lines. They wanted to really capture the essence. Good morning, Lilia. What does that mean? Your guess is as good as mine. Do I look like I do art for video games? Remember, I'm busy being a bikini model, right? We had that conversation earlier. When I was laughing at the folks that were doing the whole healer strike. By capturing their essence, they just made them tall female Khajiits. I guess they were satisfied. Either they became satisfied or they just gave up and said, we're just going to do the best that we can. I'm not a bikini model. I was kidding. I was using it to prove a point. Yeah, I was talking about, like, people that play the game casually, like, very casually, comparing themselves to people that play the game for a living, like, 8 hours a day. And the delta between what people that play a game for a living 8 hours a day can achieve versus people that play it, like, maybe a couple hours a week. Like, you can't compare the two. You really can't. And the parallel I was trying to draw was, let's say I'm a supermodel, right? And I spend 5 hours a day exercising and making sure I look beautiful all the time. It would be unfair of somebody else to compare themselves to the supermodel that does nothing but exercise, take care of themselves. Like, that's their whole focus in life. That's their the way they make their living, is just doing that. Right? There's a gap there in terms of amount of time that you have to commit to those certain things. Comparing the two does not help at all. The cat people in Dragon's Dogma 2 look like Khajiits as well. They do. Yes. 100%. Giving that people that do it professionally are burning themselves out and have no content to play anymore. That's the nature of MMOs. Nature of playing a single game. Listen, if you're going to play a single game as a streamer every day, you had better have a plan. Like a sustainable plan to create content for it. Because you will get burned out. I have my sustainable plan. I know what I'm doing to make sure that the content doesn't become dry. Or I burn out again, because I did pretty hard back in at the end of Shadowbringers. But, I mean, if you're getting paid to play Final Fantasy XIV, and you can actually make a living that way, like, let's say you're earning enough to do this every day, you know what you're getting yourself into, right? It's not like somebody held a gun to your head and forced you to do that. You know what you're getting yourself into. So, burnout, no burnout, that's you have to manage that. I expect that person as the professional to do that. Yeah, no. I'm not going to do that. I don't ever expect to do any ultimates in this game. That content does not have an appeal to me. I don't have the time to dedicate, like, months, weeks to months, learning one fight that takes 20 minutes. That seems excessive. I don't ever plan to do ultimates in this game. Savages are, like, right at the upper end of what I have patience to do. that is the tippity top end. Like, and Savages are getting really long too. Savages are like 14 minutes long. Like, what? It's a little excessive. I think 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes is probably a really good boss duration. Anything beyond that is just, you're just dragging it out to get extra content or whatever. Extra time spent from your players. You want to do them, but you'll never have the time? Yeah. There's that too. There's a lot of folks that actually have the interest, but the commitments, there's a really high commitment wall there. Right? You have to commit to doing it, to commit to learning all of the mechanics, you have to commit to the practice with 7 other people that are also committed to doing it, studying, putting in the practice, and then finally executing and doing all of that. And it's like, you've got a 7-phase fight. You have to memorize everything, and if anybody makes a mistake during the execution, you have to start all over. Not a lot of people have a mettle to do that. You will do ultimates, but will not participate in the ultimate race. Yeah, I don't have any interest in that, for sure. I don't have anything to prove in terms of rating. So I will probably never participate in Savage races or Ultimate races or any of that. The top Ultimate racers take vacation days. You mean after they've done the Ultimates? Old Ultimates are simple now, but DSR and TOP are easily 100 plus hours of prog. Simple to who? The people that have already done them? Yeah, obviously. Even with a guide, I think that some of those things would be just ridiculous for a group full of people that are completely new. Uwu and Ukab are a lot easier now. Easier because they made the mechanics easier? Because there's gear available that makes them easier? What fundamentally changed for Uwu and Ukab that made them easier? Some of the older Ultimates are easier than recent Savages. It's because of the gear? Okay. They have real jobs usually? I don't know how you can be a top Ultimate racer and not take vacation days from your actual job. Unless you have, like, stand-ins? Like, are you saying that the teams have people that they can slot in? Because the whole point of killing, like, being an Ultimate racer is to kill it as fast as possible. And taking time off and killing as fast as possible are incompatible things. Mechanically? They didn't, so, no. UCOB is still hard. Okay? Like, it didn't magically become easier because harder stuff was introduced. It is still hard. It still takes a long time. The only things that can make Ultimates easier are if they make the mechanics themselves simpler. Like, maybe the mechanics don't hit as hard. Maybe they reduced, like, they removed a phase, reduced the complexity of some of the mechanics. They gave you access to more things that make it more forgiving. Like somebody said, pots, gear, extra hit points, more DPS. Those things make it easier. The introduction of harder content doesn't make it easier. It makes it easier by comparison, and if you do the harder content, maybe you're more well prepared to go back and do that. But let's not say that something becomes easier because the existence of something harder is introduced later. They are more forgiving than recent fights. Same comment. Alright, that doesn't change anything about those fights. They didn't become easier, they just made harder stuff. One of the statics needed to give up once because they ran out of vacation allowance. Yeah, and that... right, exactly. So... they... like, if you're racing, you have to commit to that. It has to be your focus, because if you're not putting in the time and studying and practicing and etc., then you're not racing. So those two things are... they have to... oh wait, so wait, I think you said vacation days, like... I misunderstood what you said. I take that back, Lilia. I misunderstood what you said. Like, they take vacation days from work, is what you said. They take vacation days from work to race. In that case, yes. I agree with everything that you said. Yes, so they take vacation days from work so that they can focus on racing. That makes more sense. It's normal to skip entire mechanics now because the DPS is that much higher. Okay. The gear part is also a thing for UCOB and UWU. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, in those situations, that does make it easier to do. How long does it take to do current Savage content? Like, what's the average length of a boss fight these days? In terms of, like, just killing the boss. Are we still looking at 12 minutes, 14 minutes, something like that? Because I feel like that was pretty average for Eden, at least. Especially E8S. I think E8S was like a 14-minute fight. 5 to 10 minutes for a Savage? That seems really short. That's actually doable. 10 to 11 minutes for second and third floor. 7 for last floor boss. Last floor door boss. And 8 for the final boss. Okay, that's actually not bad. That's better than I expected. That's much better than I expected, I'll be honest. I was expecting like, oh yeah, they take 15 minutes now. Because I feel like there's this inflation for the length of these fights. Where is... there we go. Shiva was the last long Savage boss. Nice. Nice. And I got to do it. Actually, yeah, so, what do they call it? E12S was the actual name for that fight. Something of Darkness. That fight was actually pretty good. I really enjoyed that fight. Although, I never really got a great parse for that one. Oracle of Darkness. My best parse was a 78th percentile. It's very sad. Abyssos has wacky mechanics with no buffers. I haven't tried the Criterion dungeons yet, no. I haven't tried the variant or Criterion. They're actually very fun. That's what I hear. I hear folks have good opinions of them. And from what I've heard, they sound like solid content. You heard that they're fun, but they suck because there's no replayability? So just do it one time? And that's it? Well, what's the replayability of a Savage raid? When it comes down to it. Like, what is the replayability for that? Until you get the gear that you want? It's not like I see a lot of people doing Savages because they like really enjoy the content. And I just cannot wait to do this Savage. I mean, there's some people like streamers that do it because it's content. You know, they do it to entertain people. But I think for a typical player, it's like you do it until you get your gear. If it's the last one, you do it until you get your mount, and then you're done. Unless maybe you're really, really bored. Do you enjoy the content? You do like Savage raids just for fun? Even if you don't have any like chance of getting anything? You did them all to get the lore and paths, and then you were done. But it was fun getting those. Yeah, I think that's pretty fun. Seems cool. You do the raids just for fun, just to pass time. Interesting. I expect that that's probably a very rare thing. I think that's probably the exception. Pretty often because you get gear. Yeah, the replay, that was my point, is that the replayability of, at least my assertion, is that the majority of replayability from Savage Dungeons comes from getting gear. And as soon as you have your gear, there's no incentive to do it again. So it's not like you're doing it and then it's like, yeah, man, oh, I got all of my stuff. I just really want to go back. Like I said, I think that's a pretty rare opinion. Haven't done a Savage since the first one was released. Your static collapsed after Twintania. Do you have no motivation to go do another Savage? That's a long time. I get that. I honestly get that. I think the fights in this game are very well designed, but man, I honestly was sitting there debating tonight. Do I want to play my Black Mage and do some raids? And I decided to level Sage instead. You enjoy your guild stuff more? The private static thing killed it for you? Well, there's also the Party Finder, man. Just get into that PF and have fun. Get some progress that way. Alright, folks. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. It's a quarter to midnight. Got to get up early for work. It is a Friday, so I'm excited about that. You have a hard time translating the PF? I totally get what you're saying. I completely understand. PF is such an inscrutable nightmare sometimes. It's like, I'm just gonna use the shorthand of whatever was the last video I watched to do raids. Wait a second, or is it? It's not trials. Is it actually raids? Oh my god. Why did I look at this? You don't even have the bikini model pictures? Well, shoot. I'll have to fix that. You'd love to do ultimates, but you think you missed the timing? Well, that's the nice thing about ultimates is they're releasing new ones regularly. So if you really wanted to do them, I mean, the conversation we just had is it's never been easier to do them than right now. What's the community expectation? Hang on. I need to set up this stuff because I really need to go. I have to go to bed. I will talk about Final Fantasy XIV for forever, if you let me. But it's unhealthy for me because I have to get some sleep. All right, folks. Thank you all. Had a great time tonight. You're stuck in Don Meg with first-timers. They keep not soaking the lines. You should tell them to soak the lines. It's on you. It's on you. It's your responsibility now. If you know they're first-timers. Get those commendations. Thank you, folks. I'll be live again Friday night, most likely. Most likely. I think Friday's fine, but it's kind of like up in the air right now. Friday night, possibly. If I do stream, it's going to be at 7:30 p.m. Pacific with some more Final Fantasy XIV. Now that I have another class to level, I want to level that class. So, looking forward to it. There's my links. Twitter.com/SharpDressTV is my handle over there. There's the Discord link if you want to continue the conversation. join the community with that link. There's the YouTube if you want to see the rest of my content. All right, folks. Good night. I'll see you all again soon. Possibly Friday, possibly Saturday. Either way, though, have a great rest of your night. Have a fantastic Friday. And I'll see you all next time. Good night. Cheers.